It's Hump Day, Wednesday, July 19th. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks for stopping by. We don't have any direct aspects of the major planets in the sky today. We do have a couple of lunar aspects. One already happened. It squared Jupiter, the moon did, at 1 o'clock this morning Eastern Time. It also squares Uranus tonight at 9:51 p.m. Eastern. So that's it. Those should be minor and passing quickly. Now, another one that you might want to just take note of, the sun is going to be trining Neptune in the morning. Neptune, of course, in retrograde. This will be a Pisces Cancer water trine, 9:06 in the morning. We have sufficiently talked about Neptune to know that we are right now in this process of analyzing where we are in our spiritual game, where we are honestly with ourselves. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. Now, let's pivot here and start talking about Venus retrograde. Happens on Saturday night, 9:32 p.m. Eastern Time. Happens about every 18 months. Venus slows down to a dead stop in the chart, and this retrograde will go until September 3rd. And it is of note that also on September 4th, Jupiter goes retrograde. So Venus, one benefic goes retrograde, and then when it ends, the next benefic goes retrograde. At the top of the funastrology.com website, there is a banner, and I've got all the retrograde dates in there. This retrograde occurs at 28 degrees 36 minutes Leo, and it will retrace back to 12 degrees 12 minutes for you numerologists, 12/12 by September. Now, this Venus retrograde, I've said, has some potholes in it because, look, here's what we have. 2 yods. We've already talked about that. We also have Pluto in a direct degree exact opposition to the sun that day. Not by minutes, but by degrees. The exact is on Friday, so it is separating, but just by an inch. We also have 2 malefic planets, Mars and Saturn, in opposition. That direct is on Thursday, so it too is separating by Saturday on Venus retrograde, but they are in direct opposition. Also, certainly within an orb distance, Saturn is directly opposite from the midpoint between the sun and the moon on that day. So the sun will be literally 22 minutes away from moving into Leo. So it's right at the tail end of Cancer. The moon is up at 27 degrees Virgo, so the sun and the moon are sextile. The midpoint of the sun and the moon is opposite Saturn. And this is for the initiation of this Venus retrograde period, which is going to carry us through the rest of July, all of August, and the first couple of days of September. This is what this retrograde is going to be about. Aren't you glad that you are aware that there's going to be karmic business done during this time, especially related to those areas of Venusian influence, love, money, relationships, what we love, what we value, passions, beautifications, the things that make our life worth living, if you will, are all going to come under this karmic influence and this changeability. We've talked about the odds. I'm not going to go into that more. If you don't understand that Pluto is a big part of it, it is square to the nodes of the moon. The nodes have changed signs. Now the south node is ruled by Venus. So it's almost like anybody is subject to all of those areas at some point being shuffled and redealt. Now that's the mundane. That's the pothole side of this. That's for those who are asleep at the wheel. The mundane. And because Venus is there, we could also say the financial markets, right, could be a part of this. Ray Merriman has been talking about that this could be a time of market challenge. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But I am so glad that you and I are on our highest timelines, and we want to strive for better. So how do we read this? Well, that's what we'll unpack between now and Saturday. But what I'm seeing is, for those of us who are doing the work, this is a great opportunity to get rid of things that are in your path that don't advance you along that work. What is the one thing you value the most? Who you are in the world, right? That's under Venus. That's Venusian. Who you are being, where you are going, who you are going with, who is in your life influencing you. All of these things will be under the microscope, and this is an opportunity to raise the bar. So even though there are some tensions, we are going to ride those tensions to higher ground. That's those of us who are on our path. We can't be responsible for the collective or for others. We're going to do our work. And what that is going to involve is releasing what doesn't serve. We're going to do some deep karmic introspective diving and then form that cocoon. And from that cocoon will emerge a butterfly. And it's going to be beautiful. The energy is with us, guys. We just have to ride that tension to get through it to the other side. And we will do that together. Thanks so much. We'll see you back tomorrow for Thursday, and we'll start looking at how we're going to set up for the weekend.